Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in the Wild podcast. Mallie, how
Hello,
are you?
Hello, everyone.
We're off to a horrible start.
Talking over each other immediately. I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Do you want me to just jump into how I really am?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
was like a
no
fake?
casual
How are you?
conversation.
No
Just
small talk.
no.
Straight to the good stuff.
How's your mental health?
Um,
Tell us.
my mental health is good. I'm really still loving it. Um, in my
Are
new
you
location.
McDonald's? Perhaps? Are you loving it?
Oh,
Ba-da-dun-dun-dun.
like yeah, I
Right.
am loving it. I am definitely still enjoying myself. However, I think everybody in my class would agree that things are ramping up. It's getting a little bit
Oh.
crazy. And I don't remember if I said this last time, but the readings, people said, I think I said on the first episode that I was here, the readings they say get a lot easier. And they're like, don't worry about it. Like it gets a lot easier. You can do it a lot faster. That is very true. I already feel like I can like this past week I've been reading and I've been like, oh wow, like I'm done. I didn't even realize I was that close to the end. And I've been like understanding on the first read, that stuff completely true. The problem is once you figure out how to do that, there's a jillion other things that you need to be doing. You need to be starting outlining, you need to make sure you're actually comprehending or actually, keeping this stuff and you're retaining this stuff. You need to be writing your like memo or whatever at the different schools. There's probably different stuff for your legal writing class. Um, and that's like a whole different kind of writing than you've pretty much ever done before. So while the readings have gotten better, everything else has gotten a lot more challenging. But it's okay. It's just something hard that I'm figuring out how to do. I was telling Ryan this the other day because I was like working through all of it in my mind. I was like, this is very hard and I'm like I know that I can do it. So it's just like something challenging and I'm figuring out how to do. And then once I figure out that I can do it and then I can do it like pretty well, hopefully fingers crossed, um then I'll be that much more confident for the next hard thing I have to learn to do, you know?
Right. Right. And you will feel so successful because you'll know where you started and then look at where you are and you'll be like,
Exactly.
I did that. One thing I did was that.
Yeah. And I'll have like the peace of my or the satisfaction of knowing that what I did was genuinely challenging. And I did it. I figured it out, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. At
Yeah.
least you're like, seeing the progress that everyone said it would be. Like the readings are getting easier and they actually are.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
just
And I
didn't
was
tell you that other part, you know?
exactly, yeah. And that's what I was listening to a podcast about like success 1 year because I love to here's the thing about me. I love to listen to like supplementary instruction about like what I'm doing as a whole rather than
Mhm.
actually studying. So, need to be
Mhm.
working on that. So, I was listening to a podcast about success in your 1 year and this lady was saying that law schools don't do a good job of telling students that like that time that they were using to read in the first couple of weeks where it was taking so long. Hi, Mabel.
You can see, I promise.
She's so cute.
Go
Mabel.
ahead.
Mabel.
Do you have anything to say? No, she literally just stopped breathing when I put the mic up to her. And just stopped.
Oh, I'm
Couldn't
so
give us anything, not even a breath. I'm sorry, go ahead.
um she was saying that the time that you were spending reading at the beginning of school, you need to keep spending that much time on each class, just like studying or doing like practicing writing out hypotheticals or whatever. So anyway, not that anyone wanted all those tips about law school, but there you go.
You never know. Someone might be going.
They might be or thinking about it.
Would you advise, are you pro law school or are you like, don't do it
So
so far?
I'm so far I love it, which I think part of it is the law school that I go to. Like I think that it is, which everybody might think that I don't know, but I think it's like really a cool place and really special. And like I
Mhm.
think that they spend a lot of time on the students and like making sure everyone is on track, has whatever resources they need. Anyway, this is not a plug for my law school, but I do think that that's part of it. But in general, I think what I'm learning is very, very valuable this is another thing I've been thinking. Since you asked, I'll just talk about this.
Okay.
I have never been in a educational environment that I feel like every single thing I'm doing is completely worthwhile and completely like helpful to what I'm gonna be doing in my career.
Yeah.
And I understand that like undergrad is so like unfocused, you know, you have to take all the general education requirements, whatever. And a lot of people are just going to get a degree in general, as we
Mhm.
talked about on our college episode. Um,
Mhm.
but with this, it's like every single class, every single reading, every single assignment that we're given, I feel like it like really has a purpose and is really helpful to us, and it's very concentrated.
You hear that?
So yeah.
Keep going.
So that everything um I'm doing is very beneficial. And a lot
I feel like some kindergartners may argue that all of kindergarten is beneficial.
I
Like
I
the
would say that.
alphabet, numbers,
True. And just
colors.
like socialization is very important in kindergarten.
I'm being mean. No, I definitely get what you mean because like in undergrad it's a money racket. Like they
Yeah.
make you take all these silly classes simply for the money. But when you actually get in, same thing with nursing school. I mean, there was some classes that I was like, okay, is this actually necessary? But everything that I learned, um, I liked was to use. Like my classes were about the body, and then I would
Yeah.
have pharmacology, which is how I treat stuff, and then just disease processes. There was never a class of actual content that I was like, oh, this is stupid
Yeah.
because it's all, but it's just different when you get into like a specialized, like
Exactly.
a grad school, or you go into like a specialty in
Yes.
undergrad. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's such a good thing because it's so expensive. Well, for one reason,
oh,
because
for
it's so
sure.
expensive. Like you're spending so much money on this education, it better be only what
Yeah.
you need, only
Cut the
things that are
bull crap.
beneficial. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I've been feeling recently. I am getting a little bit like overwhelmed, but I'm trying to channel that overwhelmingness. I don't. What's the noun of overwhelmed? I don't know. Anyway, I've been trying to channel that into doing things to help my overwhelmedness instead of just
Like
like
what?
wallowing in it.
Do you have some self-help tips? What have you been doing?
Just like studying, just like doing
Oh,
the work, you know.
doing what is overwhelming you. I
Yeah, so
got
that I
that.
can
I got that.
check stuff off and not have to be overwhelmed about that thing anymore, you know?
Right.
Can you hear
And
my
that's
ice jingling?
completely barely.
Oh, wow.
I just need to apologize to all the listeners. I don't have childcare today. So my child is being insane.
I
Can you
really don't
still
think
hear
it's that
me?
bad. Yeah, I can hear you.
No, she's bumping the cord to my microphone. Awesome.
She's out to get us. She hates our podcast.
I think she might be our number one hater. Okay, give me the monkey.
My brothers have been
This is her
overruled
monkey.
by
Look at its
Mabel.
leg.
Poor monkey.
It's hanging on by a thread. Okay, I'm so
Literally.
sorry.
It did appear to be
Not
hanging on by a thread.
one singular thread is what it was hanging on by.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
it's totally fine.
Is it my turn
Anything?
now?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I really just I feel like I haven't done a super ton. One night last week, I had one of our loyal listeners, Kinley, Colin's little sister, and her mom and grandma over, and then we all had like a little card game night here at my house. It was
So
really so sweet
fun.
and fun.
Wait, I'm obsessed. You didn't even tell me that.
Yeah, it happened. Sorry. No, it was really sweet. And then the next night, me and my mom went to dinner at their house. So it was just like a all-inclusive weekend, if you
Wait,
will.
that's so cute. I'm
Yeah,
obsessed with
and
that.
then today we're recording this on Thursday, the 19th. Mabel just stood up on her back legs only and almost peeked into the camera. I wish you all could have seen that.
I wish she would have.
She like can stand on her back legs like for prolonged seconds.
Proving that
Really.
she's a human.
She has human tendencies and it's freaky.
I know.
Anyways, sorry. We're recording this on Thursday, the 19th, and today is our number one hater's birthday. My father. No, he's actually our most loyal fan.
He is.
If
He listens to he has not missed an episode, I guarantee it.
And, like, sometimes he'll listen to him twice. He
Yeah.
did just miss an episode because he just returned home yesterday from a hunting trip in Colorado for 2 weeks, where he
We
was
forgive him.
literally living in a tent in the middle
How
of
did
the
it go?
woods. I'm gonna have to plug Sasquatch Boogie Outdoors and say that you need to go to their channel to hear more about the trip,
Okay,
but
we need to. You know what we need to? Sorry, this is a little bit off topic, but we need to link that in our like description,
oh, yeah, he gets
and we
on to
need to
me every
start
time.
linking stuff on our description on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. So if you wanna hear more about that, I'm sure he'll have a video out very soon. But so today we're gonna celebrate his birthday. So
That's
happy
so
birthday,
fun.
Dad. Everybody
Happy
wish Mr.
birthday!
Boogie a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rex, you genius.
Rex Eugenius. My
And
father's
we,
middle name is Eugene.
yeah, and
New
all.
toy unlocked.
I feel like all of all of your friends have always called him Rex, you genius.
Yeah. But
Um,
other than that, I've just been working. I have an exciting weekend coming up. My cousin Marina is getting married, and I'm super excited. It's going to be breathtaking, I'm sure, because she does everything perfectly to a T. So
yeah,
I'm super excited.
everything that like her bridal shower was so pretty. I'm so excited to see
Yes.
pics.
And she, like, thinks of every little detail that
Yeah,
I just simply would
I
not.
love that.
So other than
I
that,
want to be like that.
pretty mundane week.
Love it. Well, I do have one more thing to share. Well, first of all, we did talk about Mormon wives, right?
Yeah, we
We hadn't
talked that we were
finished it.
watching it.
Do you
No,
have anything to say now that you finished?
that is just insane. I
Yeah.
think Whitney is the villain. Everyone knows that. This is not groundbreaking information that I'm sharing. And, me and you both started out hating Taylor. Hating her.
Hating her. In the
And
first
then by
episode,
the
she's
end,
insufferable.
yeah, by the end, it was like major character development. She turned out to be one of my favorites. Just how
Yes.
unbothered she was. She was just so focused on herself and her baby
Mhm.
and like just kind of simply let everything else dissolve.
Yeah.
And she ended up being one of my favorites. Who was your favorite overall?
I really love Jen. I really do. And I
Yeah,
also I
she's
also
getting
really
so
like
much backlash.
I know for her husband, and that's totally fair. Um,
Yeah,
and I completely agree. He's a psychopath.
yeah.
And they also moved to New York. Like there are
I
just so
saw
many
that.
things. And the thing about that is she is the breadwinner in the family, and he just like
Exactly.
literally did not care about anything that she wanted when he could have gone to medical school closer to like Utah.
But I'm going to play devil's advocate because you have to.
Okay.
He did get into med school in New York. And it's his family's legacy. Like, he would be a third generation doctor. So and that's what she had been working for, was to put him through med school.
I
And
mean, yeah, she says that, but like
but I'm just playing devil's advocate. I know he's psycho, but I'm just saying, like, med school's a big deal.
I
So
I
and I don't know if he applied places. Maybe that was the only place he got in, you know? I don't know if he got in
maybe
or
because
applied even.
he doesn't strike me as the smartest person in the world. So maybe
But
maybe so.
I did see they moved to New York. That would be hard also but I think she'll be just as successful away from Utah because of the show.
I think so
People will
too,
be
and
so obsessed with seeing how their marriage goes.
that brings me to two thoughts. First of all, I don't know why these girls think they have to have each other.
I don't either.
And on that note, I don't think that many of them like each other very much at all. Like I think that they just have a very transactional relationship and think that they have to be with each other for views. And I understand like the videos they post with each other get more views or whatever, but like you're making good money by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you want to have millions and millions and millions of views, but
No, I get that. And like one thing that got on my nerves was every episode at least 6 times. Will Mom Talk survive this? Like, who cares? You're going to be fine without it,
like
you know?
you have your own little families, your own little like situations.
Yeah.
You'll be okay,
And
without
you're
these
not like
girls.
your followers are not going to unfollow you because Mom Talk isn't popping off like it used to be.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a mom talk video, I feel like, since 2020 or something crazy
No,
like
I
that,
I
you
see
know?
Michaela sometimes. I would still see Michaela.
No, I'm talking
Did
about
you
them
ever
all
see Michaela?
together.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
either,
I see
until the show.
Michaela still, and I think if I was on the show, I would be more like a Michaela, just sitting in the background, absorbing it all, and just she's getting a check for literally being in the background.
I've seen that, they were on a
Pop off.
podcast, and they said that Michaela was never, or no, maybe this was just, like, someone posted on TikTok, that Michaela was never ready, so they never showed her.
That
Isn't
is
that funny?
hilarious. No,
And
yeah,
I
I would
also saw
wanna
on
be
a
that.
podcast that Demi, it was Taylor and Macy on the podcast, and, Demi, um, they said that Demi, Whitney, Jen a little bit, would change a lot for the cameras. The question was like, who's the biggest chameleon for the cameras? Like, who changes the most when the cameras are around? And they said Demi sometimes does, that she's usually like more chill, and she kind of would like get amped up a little more
Amp it
with
up
the
a
cameras.
little.
Yeah.
I could see that. Also, I don't understand how her name is Demi. It's Demi. But
Um,
whatever. Because I remember the first episode, I looked at you, I was like, why are they calling her Demi?
I know.
It's Demi. That's how
I
it's
know.
spelled.
But I mean, I guess you can decide to pronounce your name however you want,
I
but
mean,
like
totally. Like,
people are obviously gonna say Demi
yeah, because that's how it's spelled. But whatever.
because that is how that word is
That
pronounced.
is how you say that name.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Um, I was gonna say one more thing. Oh, going back to Jen and Zach. I think that if the tables were turned and she had always wanted to go to med school and he had like this big opportunity, then I would totally still want her to go to med school. So therefore, I'm like that part, whatever. Like go to
Yeah.
New York, go to med school. But the Chippendales episode when he said he didn't love her anymore,
No, that's insane.
that's like that is too
And
far.
she did nothing. She literally asked, will my husband be upset about this before they went? And they didn't get an answer. She didn't know where she was going. And when she got there, she stayed in the background. I don't get
I
it.
know. Like what was she gonna do? Leave by herself in
Yeah,
Vegas?
right. That's even more
But
dangerous.
that is what she ended up doing at his request. He literally made her do that. Why could he not have like come? That's just so like immature and honestly like evil of him a little bit. He was so manipulative.
Yes. To say you don't love your wife is insane. You don't want to be married to someone like that? Someone who didn't want to go and stood in the background when she found out, and she was just as upset. She didn't want to be there. It's not like she was
Yeah.
like, yes, finally,
No, you can
you
clearly
know?
see that she did not want to be there. And then on the phone, she was like, "Can you just think about me? Like, think about what kind of person you know that I am." And he was just like screaming. Terrifying. I hate that.
Yeah, that was the worst, I
And
will
one more
say.
thing. People have been saying, like, there are just some moments where it's like they're just such good friends to each other. I really don't see that. I do not want friends like that. I'm so
No.
sorry. I do not see
Okay,
that they're not
Whitney.
to each other. What?
I said, okay, Whitney.
Like, I really don't think they
No,
are.
I agree. I
Whenever
agree.
whenever Jen's husband did all of that, and then everybody was like being honestly like almost mean to her about it. I understand they're like trying to make her understand, but at the same time, that's her entire life. Like she has 2 kids with this man.
yeah, right. No, I agree. And I will say, like, going back to the whole medical school thing, Jen's career on TikTok could end if people's opinion changed on her in one day and like they decided to cancel her. She could lose all of her sponsorships and stuff like that. And med school is not so easily, like being a doctor is not lost so easily. It's a very more secure long-term career. So I could
Unless
also
you're a
see that.
narcissist and a psychopath like he is. I don't know. He scares me. He really does.
I don't know, that's typical doctor behavior. So
I was gonna say that, but I wasn't sure if I was right about that because I don't know enough doctors.
I have to say the doctors that I work with, most of them are very nice. So that's
Good.
good.
I'm glad to hear
You
that.
want me to list them off by name? First and
Yes,
last?
please. But you always read about
Okay,
like
before
crazy
we jump in,
doctors.
no, and like I've seen some crazy stuff, so I
Okay.
get it. I have one more thing to say, and then we need to jump into the meat and
Well,
potatoes.
and then I'll also have one
Um,
more thing to say.
What could you possibly have to say?
Oh.
I've been cracking up because every time you say something, it's like, one more thing, and one more thing,
I
and
already
one more
told you that
thing.
I have to say this.
Okay, what?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that I forgot to add the pictures on the BuzzFeed quizzes on the last episode, and I'm so sorry for that. My mom texted me and was like, I love you, but please don't ever expect me to know what you're talking about when I can't see. It's like, awesome. And she's like been dogging our last episode to my dad.
Why?
She's
Just
like,
about
it
that?
was bad. It was bad. I was like,
It was bad.
plug your ears, don't listen.
I think it was funny. I think it was funny until we started doing the quizzes because we had to explain them.
Yeah, and
I
it'd
think the
been so
first
much
part was funny.
easier to see a picture, and I completely forgot. So I'm really sorry
It's
to all
totally
of our
okay.
listeners.
You have so many things on your plate.
I do. I'm just covered up.
Okay, my last thing to say is that I got a new vacuum from Amazon, and it's a cordless vacuum. It like kind of looks like the Dyson vacuum, but it's only $150. So if anybody needs a like good cordless vacuum, I highly recommend. I wish I had an Amazon storefront. That's all I've been thinking about recently. But my point in saying this is um I feel like I am entering the bounds of adulthood because I've never been more excited for anything than I was for that vacuum to arrive at my apartment.
Oh, I'm sure. Where did you get it from?
Amazon.
Amazon, sorry. Um, that's not a bad process at all. I got
I
my
know.
old dinosaur vacuum from Walmart for like almost 90, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, and it does fine, but I'm sure yours is so much better.
I think it's really good. And I have read that like maybe it doesn't last a super long time, but
Who
no vacuum
cares?
is going to last forever if you're using it a lot, you know?
Yeah. That's actually signs of a good vacuum if it doesn't last
Yeah,
forever, is what I heard. So I think you made the right decision in making that purchase.
thank you. Don't you think
And
that's
what's,
like
well, I mean, you won't need it for long because, like Dyson or Shark is going to sponsor us and we'll get new vacuums, so it's fine.
so true?
That's how it's going to go, I fear.
And if not, then like I'll get married in like 5 years, maybe at least 5 years, and I'll have like a vacuum on my wedding registry.
No,
Someone else can buy it.
I will say the one thing that I'm so excited about getting married is my wedding.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's completely
I'm
fair.
so excited. And the number one thing I'm putting on that thing is an espresso.
Okay,
I want one
and
so bad I can't breathe.
so when Mallie was here, we found an espresso on sale at Target, and she almost got it, and she was like, "And then I can put another one on my wedding registry, and I can give you my old one." And I was like, "Wait, you having a
Yeah.
wedding registry is really gonna be good for me."
Yeah, and then I told her I was going to put like a new camera, microphones. I mean, it'll just be an all-inclusive registry.
Yeah, of
You know,
course. It's all part of
there's
your marriage.
right, there's more than two people in this marriage, so
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
All right. This week, I'm sure you all are biting at your nails trying to figure out what we're going to talk about because this intro is the longest known to man, but we haven't recorded in over a week, so
True.
it was just due for a long intro. We are going to be reading some Reddit stories. I know LG is seething with joy right now because we are finally having a whole episode dedicated to Reddit. These stories are people write in and they ask if they are in the wrong, if they are the butthole, lack of better words. I did say, someone said, am I the arse hole? I was like,
Yeah.
that was really good.
I
Play on
like that.
words. So we're going to be reading some of those and obviously giving our opinion because we have to. What else would we
It's our
do?
podcast. What else are we going to be doing?
Yes. So, and
So
we're
yeah,
going to
these
tell
are
you if
the
you're in
Am
the
I
wrong.
the Of course, which we're so excited
Say
to do.
it.
Okay. So, the first Am I the a-hole, arsehole, butthole in the wrong story is Wait, I actually want to start with a different one. Hold for 1 second. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Am I the butthole for sending my coworker into anaphylactic shock?
Immediately, yes.
No, just listen though. I really
Okay.
thought this is a good one because at first you say yes, but then you listen to the story. I knew you would like this one because you love anaphylactic shock. Okay.
One thing I love is anaphylactic shock.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for sending my coworker into anaphylactic shock? I'm at a loss here, guys. Realistically, I know I'm in the clear. Legally, I'm in the clear. But I'm feeling vilified by my coworkers, and I'm genuinely considering quitting my job because of this mess. So I work a pretty standard day job, and at night I help my friend at her restaurant, which serves an assortment of Thai cuisine. TBH, I'm insanely picky, but I fell in love with this peanut sauce the main chef makes, and he showed me how to make it. So about once a week, I take it on. I take it on either noodles or stir fry to my day job for lunch. People know this, and a handful have tried it. It smells nutty. It tastes nutty. It's white girl pad thai, basically. Lately, my lunches have been disappearing, or I'll open my lunchbox to find half of my food missing. Ew, eating half of it?
No. Why
I've
are
tried.
we opening other people's lunches?
Just wait. I've tried addressing it, but nothing has been changing, and I was pretty sure it was one of the new hires that was doing it, but had no proof until now. Thursday, I took my noodles, and my entire Tupperware was missing, which hasn't happened before. I'm pissed, but what can I do? A coworker shared. Oh my gosh, I cannot read today. Shared her pizza with me, and that was that until today. My boss confronted me and accused me of poisoning my noodles because his daughter, one of the oh my gosh, because his daughter, one of the new girls, borrowed my lunch and had to be hospitalized. Turns out she's severely allergic to nuts. Ate some, and boom, anaphylaxis. She used an EpiPen, had to be hospitalized, and now her dad is trying to hold me accountable for her bills and condition, but I don't see it. Why should I pay? I don't mark my food as an allergen because I'm not allergic to it. She was just dumb enough to steal from me and eat something she can't have. But he's being hateful, and some of my older coworkers are asking me out because I warned him I'd report any harassment to HR if he tried anything funny. Brown nosers, I guess. My friend is aware and offered me a full time job, but I just can't help feel it's unfair. At the same time, I could have killed his daughter, so am I in the wrong?
No. First of all, she deserved that. I'm sorry. You're stealing someone borrowed her lunch. Baby, you don't borrow food unless you're going to regurgitate that whole form.
When I picked this story, I didn't realize that it was the boss's daughter.
That's insane. No, you're not in the wrong. You should quit your job because I wouldn't want to work for slimy people like that.
That's exactly what people were saying.
No,
So,
I fear, deserved anaphylactic. Not many people deserve anaphylactic shock, but she did. And as a
how
fellow nut allergen victim, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Well,
Why
and
would you?
also at the beginning, she said that it smells nutty and tastes nutty. Like if
And
she's
so the
allergic to
girl's
nuts,
dumb.
yeah,
Fear she's an
exactly.
idiot.
Yeah,
And guess what? She's not gonna lose her job. Daddy's not gonna think that his little princess is in the wrong for stealing.
no,
So, put your 2 weeks in, sweetie.
no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And go
The
work at the
boss's
Thai place
daughter.
where you can have all the food you want.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That got me fired up. Nothing gets me fired up like a nut allergy. Jeez.
I knew the anaphylaxis would do it for you. Okay.
Always
You have one?
does. Yes. Okay. Am I in the wrong for not allowing my best man to bring a date to my wedding?
Ooh,
Okay.
wedding drama.
I know. There was a lot of wedding ones.
There was,
So,
yeah.
my fiance and I have decided that we won't allow any guests to bring a +1 to our wedding. I'm actually just reading this so people get the hint when they get an invite to my wedding. Kidding. This is a strict rule. My uncle isn't allowed to bring his fiance. That's kind of crazy. Anyways, I've known my best man for my whole life, and he got a girlfriend 2 months ago who he's asking to bring. He insists that she is the love of his life and that he wants her there. I'm grateful he planned and handled the entire bachelor trip, and he'll be making a speech, but he's making a big deal about not having her there. This is our rule, and we are sticking to it. Am I in the wrong for not letting him bring his girlfriend to my wedding? Thoughts? Opinions?
Honestly, like you're in the wrong for not letting your uncle bring his fiance.
Yeah, I
But
think there's
this
a
guy's
bigger fish.
yeah, but this guy's 2-month girlfriend, like I kind of see it. I don't think I would personally do it. I would say just like bring plus ones, whatever.
Right.
But I get it. Like,
Yeah, the uncle should be allowed to bring his fiance.
yeah,
And so should this guy, simply because of all he's done for the wedding. Like, he did your whole
true.
bachelor trip and planned it.
Yeah.
I think that you can lend him a bone and let him bring his
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Like,
Even if
pay
it
for
is
one
2
more
months.
meal, you know?
And then you can, like, bully him when it doesn't work out and be like, "Oh, I thought she
Yeah.
was the one."
But I guess also, like, you can't let this guy, I mean, you could, and you, like, probably should, and just say screw everybody. But you can't let this guy really bring his, like, 2-month girlfriend and then not be letting your uncle bring his fiance, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But one thing about weddings is you make the rules.
that's so true. You have exactly who you want at your wedding. I firmly believe that. Like,
Oh, I do too.
if you don't want the uncle's fiance, I think it's weird, and I think you should just get over it probably. But if you don't want him, it's your wedding. Don't have him there.
Yep. No, I get that. So, I think he's in the wrong slightly.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I agree.
Okay, you glitched up on me, so I just wanted to make sure.
You did too a second ago. There was like a moment of silence, but we were just
Now we're going to observe a moment of silence.
we were just remembering our past loved ones. Okay. Next, my turn. Okay, this one's sort of crazy. All right. Am I in the wrong for walking out of my house in shock over my wife's priorities? Would just like to preface this by saying I, 37 male, walked out not in malicious protest, but because I wanted to cool off. So here goes. My wife, 38 female, and daughter, 11, got into a jokey discussion about alien invasions and apocalyptic situations. Then my daughter asked if my wife would protect her in this situation, and my wife says, I love you more than I love anybody else in the world. Yes, she says this in front of me. This guy. Like, already I'm like, really? My wife
Yeah.
then puts her arm around my shoulder and goes on to say that her father, aka me, and I would use each other as shields against any danger that comes to her, meaning she'd gladly sacrifice me. This guy's like angering me as I'm reading this. Oh my gosh. At that point, I picked up my keys and said, Gee, thanks. Go ahead and start lunch without me. My wife suddenly gets self righteous and says there was no way I could expect to choose a spouse over a kid. I felt like she had just shiz on our entire marriage and life vows. And the principle aside, the fact that I can't read. The fact I was furious, I think, should have been enough to excuse me leaving the house. So I left the house and drove around to cool off. Then I went over to my sister's house because I told her how upset I was, and as a result, she and her spouse invited me to have dinner with them. I may have ignored some calls from my wife, but she knew where I was, and in addition, I just couldn't see her or be in the same house at the moment. I always felt like my wife loved the kids more than me, and it hurts. The fact that she would hypothetically and so casually throw me to the wolves was making me question if I loved her more than she loved me, and if so, why I bothered to give her my loyalty, when there could be other women, like my sister, who valued their who valued their spouse more than anything. Am I in the wrong? Not for my beliefs, but for the fact that I took the time to cool off. I needed this time because I was seriously and suddenly regretting a lot of the sacrifices I made for this woman, when it wasn't like I didn't have other options, women in their early 30s who have hit on me, but who I ignored in favor of the woman who I thought would put me first.
Does he have a crush on his sister?
No, okay, that's the first weird part. Let's start there.
First of all of this stemmed from a hypothetical situation over
This,
aliens.
this, this almost has to be fake, you know? Like,
Yeah.
this guy,
I would divorce him.
seriously, this Reddit post is means for divorce and alimony. Like, show this
If
to
I
the judge.
found that, oh yeah, evidence. Put it in the evidence bin. Um, look at me jumping in with the legal terms. No, that's actually clinical, I fear.
No, genuinely, like, he needs
Have you all?
therapy.
Sorry, he needs money for therapy. Have you all ever had this discussion in your family, like who your parents would choose? Not choose, but like
Who they love more.
not love more, but yeah, I guess.
So, Colin's aunt, Renee, when I was growing up, I don't know why, but, like, when we would be on, like, cheerleading competitions and stuff, I've always remembered this. She would say that her mom would tell her that like, her kids were gonna grow up and leave her, but, like, her husband would always be with her, so she would, like, say
Yeah.
that she loved him more, and I'm sure that that was, like, If she loved him more, it was like marginal, She clearly loved her kids, but I've always remembered that.
My dad says that. He was like, "Mallie, you're gonna move out and have your own family, but I've always had your mom and I'll always have her."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Okay, pop off," but like,
yeah.
what about me? Like,
But like
I
secretly,
still
I think that my mom like would would use my dad as a human shield against us.
Oh yeah, the saying that you wouldn't have you seen those videos of like those random interviews? It's like, would you kill for your child?
Yeah.
And these parents are like, no. Like, if someone was coming at your kid, you wouldn't kill to protect them? I think
Oh,
that that's a little
yeah. No,
concerning.
absolutely, without question.
And I'm not even a mother. I am a
Yeah.
mother. I would kill for Mabel. Look at her.
No, I would kill like in self. She's so cute. She's really fuzzy right now. It's like 4 pixels on my screen right now, but I can still tell that she's adorable. Anyway, I would kill for like any child.
Yeah, it's a child. They're defenseless.
Yeah.
That's insane. He needs to. I feel like his manhood is like
Okay.
below the earth.
Non-existent. It doesn't exist.
Mhm.
And also the fact that his loyalty is a sacrifice to her.
Exactly. Over in an alien invasion, he's going to go get with a 30-year-old who's hit on him at the gym.
He's regretting his loyalty to his wife over this.
Yeah, file the divorce papers, sign them. It's time to call it quits.
I'm I'm scared of this
Sorry.
man. I hope I've never seen him in real life. I hope I never do.
Yeah, he's in
Let's just read that part again. When it wasn't like I didn't have other options, women in their early 20s, that's our age, by the way, who have hit on me, but who I have ignored in favor of the woman who I thought would put me first. Okay, first of all, you're only putting her first or you're only being loyal to her because you think she's putting you first. That's not a great place to start.
insane. And then he says, like my sister. Ew! Stop it. You're weird. Okay, are you
When
ready
there
for
could
mine?
be other women like my sister who valued their spouse more than anything. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Well,
yeah. So
ask your sister if she's up for a
seriously,
little
she might
sibling
she
relationship.
might be interested. So to sum that all up, yeah, you're in the wrong. You're an
Every
arsehole.
bit of you is wrong.
Yeah.
Your personality's wrong. Okay. Am I the butthole for refusing to speak to my sister after she ate my birthday cake before I saw it? So it was
Ooh.
my birthday, 19 female, about a week ago, and I was really looking forward to it, mostly because my mental health has been extremely bad these past few months, and I haven't had anything to make me even a little hopeful or happy for somewhat of a long time now. Well, the night before my birthday rolls around, my mother and sister, 15, are urgently telling me to pick a spot to eat for the big day, mostly my sister, and I'm really indecisive, so it's taking a while. I woke up early and decided on a cute cafe I could bring my mother and sister to, and also a photo booth we could take pictures at afterwards. My dad got me a cake that he put away until the time came at night to blow out the candles. I was getting ready and didn't hear my sister come home from school, so when I go to her eventually to tell her the plans for that day, she immediately starts to snap at me. She basically said that I needed to pick a different place, and that if I didn't she wouldn't go. I tried not to let it get to me, but all my friends were in different states, and her plus our parents were the only people who were around. I tried not to let her see me cry, so to cheer myself up, I decided to look at my cake for the first time. And my surprise, someone had taken a slice out of it. The only person who could have done it was her, so I asked her, and she said, "Yeah." I honestly was in a state of shock, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. I asked her why, and she said that she thought I wouldn't care about it that much, and she was starving after a long day at school. I yelled at her, and she only gave me a half bootied sorry after my dad forced her to. I cried the rest of the day and didn't end up going to the places I wanted, so I put my candles in a cupcake and just lit them myself in my room. She continues to gaslight me and makes it seem like I'm overreacting about the situation. Is this just normal teenage bratty behavior? I won't speak to her until she gives me a brief apology. We have had a really close relationship, and I don't understand why she'd do this. My mind is boggled.
Okay, well, first of all, no, you're not in the wrong for like being mad at her about that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's how old is the sister?
15.
Yeah, I do think that it's teenage bratty behavior, but it's like it's really extreme teenage bratty behavior. I do like that's not that crazy for a 15-year-old little sister to do.
No, it is. I think.
No.
15? I would have never done that at
No,
15.
I think it's evil. But like it would be I will say this, just to be the devil's advocate. I will say it would be a lot worse if it wasn't her sister. If it was like just a friend or
Oh, yeah.
something, that would be evil. But like
But
there are
it's
some
also
things
kind of worse.
you think.
Like, it's your sister.
I know, but like when you're 15, you kind of just don't know stuff. But the fact that like she has been going through a hard time and like she was so excited for her birthday, that's such a
Yes,
sad
that's so
story.
sad. Um, me and you are just really heavy on the birthday
True.
side of things. We want our
Very
birthdays
true.
to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
So that would have sent me over the edge.
Yeah.
Having
That's
to light your own candles and a cupcake in your room by yourself is gut-wrenching.
yeah. And maybe I feel like it's not that big of a deal because I don't have a sister. Because if my brothers did that, I would be like, okay, like it's my brothers, you know? But
Yeah.
I feel like with a sister, you would probably like imagine that they would be more attuned to your emotions
Yeah.
and stuff like that, you know? So I understand
No,
how that would be set up.
I get that.
Next story. Okay. This is sort of insane. Am I in the wrong because I snitched on my former best friend because she tried to use my story for her Common App essay? Now she's struggling to find letters of recommendation and it could impact her ability to get into a good college. You know, like Common App, like that's how you apply to like every college.
Oh, no, I didn't
I don't
know
think
what
that
that was.
I didn't do one because I just went to a state school and so did you. So,
Right.
but anyway, that's how you apply to like literally every single school. Anyway, I had the same college prep elective as a girl who I thought was my best friend named Ava. She's name dropping. We were in different
Ava.
periods. Ava, yeah. We were in different periods but had the same teacher, Miss Bell. A big part of junior year in the class was writing essays for 3 of the Common App prompts. Miss Bell acted as an editor/proofreader for the essays, so when senior year comes, we'll have our essays done and won't have to panic like the other seniors. During May, Ava and I ran to the computer lab because the third Common App essay was due Friday. It was Tuesday. Oh, you're working way ahead of time. And Ava's printer
You're
was
on it.
working. I read her essay while she was preparing to print it, and I realized she was telling the exact story of how my sister Maggie died, only Ava lied that it was her sister who died. She was driving, and this drunk butthole rammed into her. My family life isn't ideal. Maggie was more like my mom than my sister, and the trauma of her death still impacts me. I couldn't believe Ava would use my trauma for her essay. She even used many of the exact words and phrases that I had used to express my pain from what happened, while claiming it was what made her want to be a doctor. I confronted Ava about it, and she said she ran out of topics for her essay. Ava said since I didn't write about Maggie and we're both applying to different colleges, nobody would find out anyway. Even though I was furious, I suggested she write about tennis and offered to help her with it. Ava made an excuse that everyone on the team is writing about it and she wanted to stand out, but said she'd handle it. I only talked to Ava the Saturday after the deadline and asked what she wrote about instead. Ava told me how she didn't change the essay and made the same excuses as before. I was furious that Ava not only took advantage of my trauma, but wasn't even apologetic about it. I went to Miss Bell as soon as it was Monday and told her what Ava did. The school wasn't allowed to tell me, so I only know these next parts because Ava told me. Miss Bell gave Ava a 0 on her essay. These essays are worth over 30% of our total grade, and Ava dropped to a C since she was already borderline. She also was going to get a recommendation letter from Miss Bell and her tennis coach, but Miss Bell told the tennis coach about what Ava did, and now they're both refusing to write her a recommendation letter. She was relying on them for rec letters, and now she says it's potentially going to ruin her chances of getting into a good college. Ava and I haven't spoken since then. The reason I'm writing here now is that I told a cousin when he was visiting last week, and he told me I went too far. He points out that Ava's first generation American. Her parents were immigrants, and there's a big pressure from her and her family to get into a top college. and nobody would have known it if I just let her use the third essay. I still think that shouldn't matter, and telling Miss Bell was the right thing, but I haven't been able to get it off my mind.
No, write about your parents being first-generation immigrants.
So true.
Not someone else's trauma.
No.
That's
No,
so
that?
no. No, she deserved everything that came to her, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
You shouldn't have to lie.
That is not only an extreme level of dishonesty and plagiarism, but also
What kind of friend are you?
you're just exactly. And like it's not like she's just come up with this story and just like made it up. It's her
No.
best friend. It's someone else's story, you know?
And she's, like, remembered all of the details, taken everything into
Yes.
consideration. It's like, she won't care. No, she lost her sister.
And
And you're just gonna take that and run with it to get into school?
while she's saying all of this stuff about her sister, now like she knows that Ava's been like, "Oh wow, this would make a great essay," you know? And not even
Love
paying
it for the
attention.
plot. No,
Yeah.
like, you're stupid. That was just terrible.
I know.
In
That's
all
unforgivable.
Oh, yeah. I didn't screenshot. I think this is, about I didn't screenshot the, like, title of it. Anyways, I'll
okay.
just read it. I don't know what the title was. Okay. I, 28 female, am getting to know a guy, 26 male, from work. And it has been about 3 months since we began talking, and it can be fairly said that things are going quite well as far as 3 months situationships get. I have been quite open about this situation with my mom. She seems supportive of it and encouraged me to go to the next steps, which is a relationship and later on marriage. I,
Okay.
however, did express that I might need some time before I can arrive to that decision, as I am the kind of person who really takes time to truly get to know people in my heart, etc. My mother requested for his number in case of an emergency. That she
Oh,
could
no.
not reach me, I save his contact in her phone solely for that purpose. Then I accidentally later found out that they have been texting behind my back. Unfortunately, I did not manage to read the messages as my mother had snatched her phone away. I then immediately snapped and lashed out at her for texting him behind my back. Somehow I know she would not talk bad about me, but still in the moment I got so mad and lashed out at her. She was so hurt by this and had stopped talking to me altogether. I felt like, one, she had betrayed my trust, and second, she had meddled in my private life. However, seeing how hurt she reacted in that moment made me think that I may have overreacted and consequently overthought just a simple situation. Am I justified for being mad in this situation, or am I overreacting?
You're justified for being mad.
Yeah, you can be mad about that. That's weird.
Why is she texting him? And why has he not told you that she's texting him?
And if he's your closest contact, if something were to go bad and she can't get a hold of you, that's a little weird. Like,
I was
you
thinking
not,
like when they're on dates or something.
but I'm still not given. It's been 3 months. That's different than like 3 years, you know?
What I need
But
so
and
much more information.
what could they possibly be talking about?
How do they text regularly? Like
Exactly.
exactly what
And
are they talking about? That's
what are you texting about? That's weird.
I need to like see I want to see pictures of these people. I want to see what the mom looks like, you know? I feel like I would have a
Yeah.
better understanding of this if I knew what the mom looked like.
Yeah.
Not to
No.
judge people by not to judge
A
books by
judge
their
for the
cover.
room.
That's insane. You are so not in the
Yeah.
wrong.
No.
I'm gonna
If
be thinking about what?
If like my mom and Colin texted and we're engaged and have been together for 6 years.
No, it would
If
be
they were
weird.
texting on the regular, I would be like, "What are you all
Yeah.
talking about?" Unless
No.
it's like buying me something, don't text.
No, the opposite gender can't do that. Like, I mean, you could text Colin's mom all
No.
the time, it would be sweet. Colin could text your dad all the time, it would be sweet. You can't text the opposite gender, that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
That is
like for,
very
scheduling
rare.
purposes. Yeah. Not just to talk.
Happy birthday text.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I think you left this at our house. That's okay.
Yeah.
Not a, how are you doing?
No. No,
Want to
that's
come over? I know they're out of town, but you can still just let's go out together. No.
I'm really confused. And I'm thinking about like the conversation that she had with her mom where her mom like thought she should get more serious with this guy.
Ew. You're right. I didn't even think of that.
Um,
Maybe she was like hoping for herself.
She's like, you should get more serious unless
Unless.
yeah,
All right,
I'm not
read
I don't like
yours.
that.
No.
Sorry, I had to take a little sip.
That's okay.
Okie dokie. I had one about another wedding. Here we go. You ready for this? This is also an in-law situation. But this is the in-law writing in. Am I in the wrong for wanting my son to have a more traditional wedding to reflect on his career choice? Already, yes. I had a complicated birth with my youngest son, Matt. This is a mom who's never gotten over stuff in her life. Which I understand, like
Immediately
that can
no.
be traumatic, but anyway. Let me just read. I had a complicated birth with my youngest son, Matt, and I've always had high expectations for him. Immediately no. Matt is still
Okay.
in law school. I chose this because he's in law school. Matt is still in law school, but is still insisting on getting married this October. I'm not the biggest fan of his fiancée, Amy's, ideas for her wedding. She decided she wanted a Halloween marriage, and Amy doesn't care how it looks in front of Matt's peers and professors and other people in his conservative field once he finishes law school. Anyway,
No one cares.
Halloween wedding, weird. Why do you care? You know?
Yeah.
Amy picked out a black dress and somehow got it in her head that she wants to somehow got it in her head. This woman is evil.
Yeah.
That she wants to wear ruby slippers to the wedding since she loves Wicked. Okay, let her. I can't even read this story. I have repeatedly tried to tell Amy to have some respect for Matt's future field, but Amy thinks it's okay because she does marketing and some of her coworkers are coming to this disaster of a wedding. My oldest daughter dropped out of being a bridesmaid before Amy wanted them in red dresses, and my daughter thinks Amy is being tacky, and Matt still won't do anything about the wedding and making it more traditional. I tried to talk to him again after the ruby slippers issue, and he told me maybe if his wedding stresses me out so much, I should skip it. I tried explaining that this kind of tackiness can backfire on his career because when he has wedding pictures up, people are going to notice his bride in a black dress and question his integrity as a lawyer.
No. They're not.
Matt has told me that I'm going to be uninvited to his wedding if I continue to make a scene, but I'm just trying to help people see him in a better light.
You go, Matt.
Yeah,
And
Matt is a king.
All this stemmed from her traumatic birth.
Yeah.
Of Matt.
No, she's always had high expectations for him. Absolutely.
I'm just like flabbergasted.
Okay. If one of my brothers was marrying a girl who wanted a Halloween wedding, I would think it was weird. I would. But as we were mentioning earlier, it's her wedding.
It is not your wedding, and just because you had a traumatic birth does not mean you get to tell her how to do her wedding.
And moving forward, you're just wrong that people are going to care if he has a Halloween wedding.
I'm not going to sit down and look at his wedding picture sitting on his desk when I need a lawyer and be like, is he a good lawyer because his bride is wearing black?
No.
No.
Your wedding
I'm
is
gonna
like
say
the most personal day of your life. Should be completely separate from your professional life.
exactly.
Like, and also, lawyers are weird. They do weird stuff.
That's what to say. I would look at that and be like, man, he thinks out of the box. Maybe he
Exactly.
would be a good lawyer. He's going
not
to
so
see it from multiple.
serious. Exactly.
It'll take the pressure off. I'll be like, oh, this guy's like not like every other lawyer. He's a different lawyer. He's a cool lawyer.
Exactly. He's not a regular lawyer. He's a cool lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what the heck? She said this disaster of a wedding before she got it in her head that she was going to wear ruby slippers.
This you're acting like it's your, this is a mom who wants to marry her son.
Exactly. Perfect example.
No. Immediately I'm done. I'm out.
Let's see what the first comment is. This person said, I'm a lawyer. Sounds like you'd be shocked to know how much we appreciate with people with personalities in the field.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh. That
Disgusting.
I'm throwing up. I'm gagging.
Okay. Am I in the wrong for snapping at my sister for continuously announcing my pregnancy to strangers? Almost exactly what the title says. I, 25-year-old female, am on my second pregnancy, about 20 weeks as of writing this, but I'm small. Bump only shows if I'm wearing a tight shirt or dress. Usually my pregnancy goes under the radar. My younger sister, 23, always feels the need to. Oh, she used the wrong but. Always feels the need to butt it into conversations that I'm pregnant with complete strangers, waiters, cashiers, our real estate agent, whoever we're currently engaging with. She will find a way to announce my pregnancy. Examples: me counting change. Dang, I'm sorry. I always miscount at least once. 1 second, please. Sister. Ha ha ha. Oh, pregnancy brain, right? Cashier. Oh, you're pregnant? Sister. Yeah, she's so many weeks. She doesn't look it though. She's so skinny because she's got hyperemesis. Yeah, she's always throwing up. Cashier. Oh, congrats. I loved the commentary, like the conversation in this one. So I had to read it. It's short and sweet. She's just excited, I think. The
I do.
hyperemesis thing is a little bit much. And saying how she's so skinny and tiny and stuff, like, just don't. But
Yeah, that's okay. At first, when I heard the title, I was like, absolutely. And then I heard the story and I was like, okay, she really is just excited. And it's not people you know, it's strangers, which makes it better.
yeah.
But the telling people your like diagnoses is a little weird.
Yeah. But I thought it was funny.
I
The conversation was a little too good not to read.
I, I understand why you would snap though, I guess. Like that
Oh,
would get
yeah. I
old
would be
for
like,
you.
stop it. Not everyone needs to know I'm
And
pregnant.
again, you can snap at your sister. You know, it's like it's worse if you snap at a friend
Yeah.
or something, you know? So
Yeah. That was my last one. I
um,
decided not to read my other one because I didn't like it.
okay. That was a good one. Hyperemesis.
Hyperemesis. Like, okay. That cashier probably doesn't even know what that means.
No, I don't know.
But don't worry, she had to tell her that she's always throwing up, so she got the hint.
Okay, I really want to share a couple more, but we're going a little over. Can I share two more?
If you do it quickly.
Okay. This one's short. Am I in the wrong for telling my boyfriend to stop telling me the same stories over and over again? My boyfriend has some really good stories from when he was growing up. The problem is, I've heard them over and over again. At first, I would just go along and laugh like it was the first time hearing it, but it's gotten old. He doesn't have any memory issues or anything, so it's not like he doesn't know that I've already heard them. It just seems so pointless to me to keep rehashing the same events. Today, he was telling me the one where he accidentally lit his hair on fire. And I kind of snapped. I told him, I know, you told me about it a lot. You keep telling me the same stories over and over again. He just said, fine, he wouldn't talk to me then. He's been giving me the silent treatment since. Okay, this is like just part of a relationship. You just have to listen to the same story.
No, that's true. And like, sounds like he's been through a lot. And he doesn't even have like any dementia or anything, so he's just doing it. It's just because he wants to tell you things.
Exactly.
He's
He
just
wants to
excited
talk to you, you know?
And he like almost died because he caught on fire, so
Yeah, that's a good story, you know? And she
you
admitted
should
that he has good
probably be
stories.
grateful that he's alive.
Yeah, you have an entertaining man. You should be appreciative of him. Okay, that's that one. I thought that was really funny. And then there was one more that I thought was really funny and weird.
This is what Mabel does. She's obsessed with cooking. All
I'm,
of our furniture.
yeah, I'm obsessed with her.
She's acting a fool today.
She's being really funny. She's so fluffy too.
Stop it.
Okay.
And so body.
Okay. I'm gonna do one more short one. I have some more good ones. We could do a part 2 eventually.
We'll have to see how the listeners react.
You're so right. I forgot about their
I'll hop it up. We'll do it.
Here we go. Am I in the wrong for being visibly shocked / dumbfounded that my girlfriend, 21 American, could not point out Florida on a map?
No, she's an idiot.
While sitting next to my girlfriend on a plane, I was bored as heck and looking at the maps that are found in the back of the airline magazines. The conversation led to her revealing that she did not know where Florida was on the map. Keep in mind, she had graduated a private high school and is currently going into her senior year of college. Conversation progressed further into me finding out she could not point out Australia in all caps either. I was visibly astonished at this revelation and essentially said, "Are you kidding me?" She immediately got defensive, calling me an a-hole for making her feel stupid. I do feel bad for making her feel stupid, although I feel as if my reaction to her not being educated on such elementary shiz was warranted and may even be a wake-up call for her to learn some basic geography. Am I in the wrong? I don't think you're in the wrong.
I mean, I don't like when people make people look stupid and feel stupid, but like Florida?
Australia?
Florida.
The two, like, most identifiable places.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She's like,
Australia's just off by it's its own continent. Like, there's
yeah.
only
No,
7.
I understand Australia more than Florida. She's from America.
Yeah.
Florida.
And like you just know where Florida is. Everybody
Like,
knows where Florida is.
Taylor Swift would be kicking rocks right now if she heard that.
Like, everybody knows California, Florida, Texas, and then New York's just like up there toward New England, you know? Like, everybody
Yes.
knows that. People who aren't from America know that.
Yes.
Here's the thing. First of all, Mabel, thank you for participating in the conversation. Secondly, sometimes you need to treat people well, if it's someone close to you like that, like your girlfriend, not like random people who you're just talking to in normal everyday life, but if someone like close to you does something stupid in private, you need to tell them that it's stupid so they're not doing it in public, you know?
Sometimes like we need to just hold people accountable for their dumb actions.
Absolutely. Now, if this was like in a group setting, it would be completely different. You would be the a-hole.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But it was in private, so you're totally in the right.
That's so funny.
I've greatly enjoyed this episode. I have a couple more, but we can be done.
We'll just have to we'll have to do part 2. These are too good.
Yeah, we will.
And
These are
I
good.
wish that we would have kind of got this on camera. So when you're on Reddit, there's just like the title. And I was like screenshotting the titles. I'm not a Reddit queen. And then I clicked on one accidentally and a whole story popped up. And I called LG like 15 minutes before we recorded. I was like, am I supposed to read the whole story? And she was like, yeah. So once I know more about Reddit, I can really find some good ones, I think.
Yeah, you've been on Reddit like a couple
I've
times?
been on it, yeah.
Have you just only looked at the titles?
I guess. Oh.
Cracking up. That's as bad as Florida.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I'm stupid. I'm stupid.
And I'm telling you that publicly. I'm in the wrong.
Yeah, you are the booty hole. I'm gonna have to hire a babysitter for this dog when I record the podcast.
Yeah.
Both my parents are at work. I mean, like, I'm just collecting toys at this point. So
She's bringing them to you just like a little kid.
No, she does that. It means she wants to play. Sometimes she'll set them on the kitchen table if we're sitting at the table. Because she wants us to play.
She's so cute. Okay, guys, follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
And Facebook.
Yeah,
Facebook.
We made a Facebook.
This past week we got a Facebook. And, you know, we're cooking up something exciting right now. So
we are.
Stay tuned.
Something exciting is, in fact, in the works.
It
really
is
exciting.
in the oven.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. I really enjoyed this episode. I feel slightly exhausted though. Because dealing with Mabel, my laptop halfway dying.
True.
I just am tired. Like I need to go take a nap. But I think I'm going to go to TJ Maxx instead.
TJ Maxx is like basically the same as a nap.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
Actually, sometimes shopping like tires you out so much.
But if you only hit a few stores, like it'll be fun.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, one more thing I want to point out is this little article right behind me.
So cute.
I ordered me and Mallie tote bags with our logo on it.
Yes, they are literally adorable.
I've actually been carrying it to school like every day.
Really? Has anyone said anything?
Well, one girl, Chloe, if you're listening, hi. Chloe is super sweet, and I was like over where all of our little desks are, one day and she was like, Laura Grace, I've been seeing your TikToks. And I was like, oh no, like I'm exposed again. And she was like, no, it's actually really good. Like I really enjoy watching them and I should listen to your podcast now. And I was like, yeah, you totally should. Except not about the part when I talk bad about people in my class. No, the only time I ever did that was raw milk. And I want to admit that I might be wrong about raw milk.
Did you try some?
It might not be that bad for you. No, I told my mom and she was like, my siblings drank raw milk the whole time they were growing up. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad for you.
I do
It's
think
probably better.
like it needs to be processed. I'm sorry, but it does. There's stuff in raw milk that you don't need to eat or drink regularly.
Okay, you're an ag major. We believe.
I toured a dairy processing facility, okay?
In LG we trust.
You probably shouldn't. I've been wrong a lot recently. Anyway, anything else to say?
I'm so glad that's on recording. You've been wrong a lot recently?
I have been.
No, I don't have anything else to say. I hope everyone has a great Friday, best day of the week. I hope today my dad has a good birthday. I hope Marina has a good wedding this weekend. I hope every other day of the week is just good for everyone else.
And I'm coming home next weekend.
Yes, we'll be back in the studio. Woo!
Not next week, but the next week for our episode purposes.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
Can't wait. All right. We'll see you all next week, I guess. All right. See ya. Love ya. Bye.